as far as I'm concerned, you look at it, the first three common things quite easily used, right? Pie chart, bar chart, and also the line chart. It's quite often. So you see, among the three, which one better? I'm sure now you know, right? You already learned that part. They tell you the difference between the various chart. Okay, so let's look at the 7.9. Okay, so 7.9, 5 data visualization to consider. First, you consider the total, right? So you consider a percentage of change. You calculate the metric. You add the context, and then you show the variant. The thing is that not everything need to show variant, right? Okay, but of course, the total, most of the time, you need to have it. For example, even if you have got a bar chart, they don't have a total, right? No, but you can find out, isn't it? But if it's a pie chart, you know definitely a total is there, right? No, you add up all the things, 100% there is a total, right? So, and then you can put the value there. So then line chart, how do you do? Line chart don't have total, right? Line chart only. But you know what is the height, what is the bottom. So that you can see roughly. So the calculation, the metric, of course, whether you add context. Add context is make sure you put in the description, your title description, your x-axis description, your y-axis description. If you want, you put a point description as well. Don't make it too complicated. That's the most important. You put too many things there, it's very crowded, isn't it? Like just now I show you the one bar chart and the line chart. I say the bar chart is so crowded, and this one I like the color. To me, I look at it, I don't like it. It's very, very complicated, right? So you don't even know the protocol. The lower value on top, the higher value at the bottom. Then another place, the higher value is on the bottom, on the top, the lower value at the top, at the bottom. So you still need no consistency. So you want to be consistency, and make sure you show it there, not two-way. Okay, so for some time, you see, adjust the underlying data may better convey your key insight to the audience. So sometimes you adjust a bit. If you tell me the full detail, let's say I got 1 million, 1650125, 7 digit there, isn't it? Then I just 1.6 million. So stop. Only 4 stroke instead of your 7 stroke there, no. So which means that means you have to change it to make sure it suit your, for example, following the figures number 9 and depending on the data story to be told, instead of total revenue, it might be more sensible to present the percentage change in revenue against the prior year, or the ratio of revenue to operating costs, or to provide context to the current revenue by presenting it alongside last year's. So which you know, right? Compare last year, this year, and then compare the chain and things like that. So these are things that you can do, even though your data only show you 2 figures, right? So which means you can make it better, or even to present a measure of variance in revenue over the past decade. Okay, the appropriate data variation may be highly situation specific and may tell very different stories. Several examples of which we cover next, so later we cover. So 7.10. Okay, so generally we look at 7.10 later. So when this type of metric move upward over time, it is viewed as a positive sign of growing business. So if everything move upward, let me telling you that business is moving up, isn't it? If it's going downward, I mean, you know the business is declining. And then you go and tell people, this is for future, we expect it to turn. But there's no sign to show it's turning. But we get sign to show it's graduating down. Right now. So of course, if you ask me, as I look at it, this course is getting harder. That's why I always advise people, try to finish as fast as possible. If you can, don't fail any. You fail everyone. You fail one, of course, this paper you fail, no problem. So I'm not suggesting you fail. Why no problem? Because it not really affect you, right? If you fail those core paper, for example, tax, fail tax also no problem. You know why? Because there's no subsequent paper. Fail RT, problem, because you cannot sit for BP. Fail FAR, problem, you cannot sit for AR. Fail AR, problem, because you cannot sit for ICAP. So in fact, most of the things you cannot, try not to fail. With prerequisite and with subsequent follow-up paper, that paper you cannot fail. And next semester, all the thing all screw up, the plan. That's why I told Fatin, make sure she pass her ICAP this time. Otherwise, she all have to go to semester 2. So what are you going to do semester 1? Go holiday. You see? So that's not good because they don't have in semester 1. There's more reason that you have to really focus and make sure even you just get 50 marks, it's okay. Just get it through. Better than to get 49.5. No, sorry, 49 and 45 marks. 0.5 fail. I mean 0.05 fail. The girl that I asked her to appeal the second time, actually I helped her to write. See, you do the draft there, I also write. 0.15. She got 49.35. If she got 49.5, automatically upgraded to 50, isn't it? That one. So she was saying, how? Don't ask me how. Go and do your appeal. Make your point to justify. She said, I haven't appealed before. I said, who say so? I already have you appeal the first time, the assignment 1. So she actually do appeal in one subject. That shows that she's very lazy. Don't put any effort into it. Why? Your RT you cannot pass. You think you can pass BP? I can tell you BP, you can say bye. You don't put any effort. It's not easy one. And the worst is audit. But she's now doing audit. Not sure whether they pick up anything on audit or not. If you're working, they help. If you're not working, audit is a bit difficult. Okay. So that is the area. She's not working, but then now she start working. So, and doing 2 subjects. Okay, never mind. So you see, in this dual y-axis bar chart, it is difficult to see the monthly revenue isn't expanding as rapidly as the customer base because each metric has a different scale. So the scale must be the same. If the scales are not the same, very difficult for you to do. Then the other thing, even though this company is acquiring some customer, the new customer aren't spending as much money with the organization, which could be a concerning trend over time. So see whether you have this thing. Okay, so this one, we look at this one, visualizing the right variant of the data. First thing you see, okay, total value may not communicate. Sorry, yeah, total value may not communicate your point as effectively. Why? Because you see here, this darker blue is about revenue, isn't it? This is about customer. So the thing is that, how do you equate? Revenue is in terms of $1 million, right? But this one also $1 million. The customer is number, isn't it? So that's why also problem, isn't it? You put a number here, right? This, and of course, people cannot see this. You don't have 2-side scale, It's only 1-side scale, right? 2-side scale is very difficult to discern. Discern means make sense out of it, right? So this, although it look nice, the chart look nice also, isn't it? The bar seems to give comparison, but is it comparing? It's not right, isn't it? So you're assuming like this one, okay, the easiest one. You say this 2000, maybe this one is 2002, right? So 2002 is so big, and then this one is 8 million or more. So that is really how to visually look good, but actually you can't compare. So it's not the right way to present. So here, in this dual y-axis chart, the y-axis 2, right? So both revenue and the number of customers have grown throughout the year. However, revenue isn't growing as fast as the customer base is expanding, right? To show the difference between the growth rate of each metric, you could change the data to percentage change rather than using a total amount. So you see, dollar sign and number cannot compare, right? You make it a percentage, maybe it's still acceptable, right? So in the case, you see, with percent change, you can have metric with different base unit share of common exit. making it easier to compare changes between the metric. So we look at next one. They did that, isn't it? So this percentage. So when you look at this one, actually this is also not very good, right? Why not very good? Of course, you see, yeah, they don't have a legend, but they put revenue here. So the darker blue is the revenue. The lighter blue is a customer, right? So if people don't really take note of this, you might not know, isn't it? So if I won't put it in the middle here. I either put it on here or I put it here, right? So that will be better, isn't it? So you can see you from February you got 30% change in revenue, but your customer increased by 40%. So which means the higher percentage increase in customer doesn't bring up the revenue as expected. So you say if I have 10% increase in customer, I should get 10% increase in revenue. Or unless you say no, 10% in customers should only result in 2% in revenue increase. So there's no detail, no definition. So then it's up to you to think. So when you have 7.5% increase in revenue and you got 8% increase in customer. So maybe you extend further, the next one is maybe 7% or 6.5%. Are they going to be the same? So if they're going to be the same, then you can say, yeah, every 1% increase will only increase 1% revenue at the lower quantity. And the higher quantity is not going to be that way, right? So that is, of course, you have look at this month-to-month chain. You know the revenue increase is lower than the increase in number of customer.